Welcome. It is Saturday morning, a beautiful Saturday down here in Dallas, Texas, which means it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. We got Bonnie and Clyde in the house today. Got my sister from another Mister riding shotgun today, Miss Tasha T. Sizzle coming all the way from the DR. What's going on today, Tasha?
Nothing's going on today. Just happy to be alive. I'm smiling and thriving. Got to give these dogs a bath today because it's bath day. But hey,
I
could be
am
worse.
pro dog. I love dogs. So shouts out to them. They're gonna have some nice furry, clean paws. Gonna get a good nap in this afternoon. Those daytime baths. So what's up? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a jam-packed show again for you today. We're gonna debut T Sizzle's top five. And for you Radio day ones, it's the return of Shut the Hell Up. So make sure you stick around for who we need to tell to shut the hell up this week. You don't want to miss that. But first, before we go any further, a word from our sponsor.
We are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. You can get your Colombian, your Honduran, and your Brazilian blend coffee, freshly ground or not, by my lovely daughter, Sasha Denise. Also available starting today, baby, that whiskey blend. Get your coffee this morning. Now, I have a message from the founder, the owner, the CEO of May Jane's Coffee. She says ways to support May Jane's Coffee. Number one, buy the damn coffee, y'all. She didn't say that in my word. Buy the damn coffee. I'm down here in a country that is coffee crazy, and they have very good coffee, and I still order and drink May Jane's. Right also, on. If you follow her on Instagram or Facebook, share the post. And then she has on here, follow us on IG, subscribe to her website, and most importantly, tell a friend. You don't understand how important it is to get the word out there about things that you're doing. And you never know. You can tell somebody, they can tell somebody else. Somebody may purchase it. You never know. But again, please continue to support May Jane's Coffee, MAEJANES coffee.com. She has her relaunching today. It's online, but feel free to go online and purchase coffee, especially that one with that yak, that GNC yak in it.
And we here at the Extra Point, we want this to turn into a trick daddy type of situation where everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? So let's do that for May Jane's Coffee. Miss Denise, if you could drop your IG and your website in the comments so the people who will be watching can go ahead and jot that down.
She might be working because she's in Gainesville working the SEC women's softball tournament. So I don't know if she's available.
Too far from the tree. We got the sports legendary mother and daughter combo in the house. So let's get to it, T Sizzle, shall we?
Yes.
Now, the NFL schedule has been released, and I know all of the football fans had their eyes upon the website, the NFL.network.com, to see where their favorite team plays and when. We have all of that information for you. I want to start out with opening night, Tasha. First of all, the opening weekend is going to be fantastic. The NFL is going to start off with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills going to the defending champion Los Angeles Rams on Thursday Night Football. On Sunday Night Football, we're going to open with the rematch of last year's opener, where Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Big D to take on this year's MVP and Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Payback time in Arlington is going down. And on Monday night, a game that I'm definitely going to stick around for, it's the Sierra Bowl. Russell Wilson and his lovely wife Sierra is going to pack up from Denver and go back home to Seattle, the scene of the crime, in a week one opener against his former team, the Seahawks. NFL, good job by you. Now, while I get this stuff posted for our sponsor, T Sizzle, were there a couple of games that stood out to you? Maybe you have circled on your calendar down there in the DR.
I really don't have, as messed up as this sounds, I watch by the time, because when daylight saving times come on, those games here start at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So I can't watch them. I'm in the head. I can't help it. But I do have slang down. If you don't know what slang is, sling.
Yes. God bless you, Sling.
I can watch some, depending on where I log in from, I can watch some games. I'm really interested in, to be honest, the Seattle and Denver Bowl.
Yes.
Because I really want to see, and we'll talk about this later. I really want to see how Seattle fares without Russell Wilson.
And I'm interested to see what type of reaction Russell Wilson is going to get when he runs out there to be on the center. Will they give him his props and his standing ovation, which he deserves, or are they going to boo the hell out of him? If you had to pick one or the other, just gut reaction, what would you think that will be his reaction when he comes home?
I mean, I would think they would cheer him because it's really not his fault he left. You know, it's not his fault. And, you know, we as fans is short for fanatic. We sometimes get caught up in that, but you can't get mad at a player who, you know, expressed that they want to be there. And then the organization chooses for whatever reason to part ways with them.
Damn all that, Tasha T. Sizzle. Damn all of that, because A.J. Brown, when the Titans come to Philadelphia, I wish you came to town because I'd boo the hell out of you for having me waste $80 on a jersey that's no good anymore.
That's different. He caused the stir. It wasn't the organization saying, okay, hey, we've got what we needed out of you. Sayonara.
True. Apropos. Look, we got some Firebirds in the house today. Shouts out to Troy Logan. Tasha, will you please flash the alma mater for the people? Firebirds are in the house. Shouts out to Troy Logan, drummer, musician, man extraordinaire. Now, Tasha, there was one thing that really stood out to me when I looked at the nationally televised schedule. First of all, the NFL has the holidays on lock. First, they got a triple header on Thanksgiving. They have a Christmas Eve game where you told me about. The Texans are playing at the Titans, so the Titans play on Christmas Eve. They now have a triple header on Christmas Day and a 14-game slate on New Year's Day. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Christmas Day was usually reserved to be the NBA showcase to start their regular season. And New Year's Day, since we were kids, were always about college football. Mm-hmm. Is the NBA being greedy? Is this overkill? Do you think these other leagues should have a gripe with this?
Wait a minute, before I answer that, Troy, this is Tiffany's shirt from her restaurant. She had
another Firebird. Firebirds are in the house. Shouts out to North Nashville, Tennessee.
From her restaurant. I don't know if I know you follow Tiffany on Facebook. She had this shirt on the other day, but when her aunt, uncle, and her came to visit me, they gave me this shirt. But that's where the shirt came. So you got to reach out to Tiffany for this shirt, Troy. But I think what the NFL is doing is capitalizing on the popularity.
Right.
Because, again, you know, we don't really watch basketball until we don't really watch till after the season because you have so much other things going on. You have college football. You have NFL football. They even have a game that's on ABC. Right. NFL, I think it's on September 16th, something like that, a game that is on ABC. They're capitalizing off of their moment, and I can't blame them for that. They need the revenue. They need it's not hard to push NFL, but what I don't want to happen is it to be a case of overkill. Because, you know, sometimes too much of a good thing can be not good.
Right. But it could be white hot in that situation.
Right. But I'm going to watch as much as I can.
But T. Sizzle, there are some numbers to back up exactly what you said. Last year on Christmas, they had 2 games, and both of them were the highest rated games for those respective stations in years, especially the Sunday night game on NFL Network that had the Colts and the Cardinals on Christmas night. That was the highest rated game in the history of the NFL Network on Christmas Day. So It's just like you said, they're going to capitalize on that. I'm sure they looked at those numbers and was like, Charlie, get in here.
I mean, and then you think with all the oversaturation of bowl games for college, like you said, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, that was always reserved for but now you play the national championship in March. I mean, they play the national championship and then they have another bowl game after the national championship.
Hey, get that together, college football, because we are done after the college football playoffs.
I mean, we're done before we get up to it because it's like a 2 or 3 week break after the playoffs before they even start the damn game.
Now, I'm glad you said the word playoffs because we're going to get your rapid fire prediction on some notable teams that that are in the markets that we're most heavy in. But before that, there are 13 teams that are tied for the most primetime games, which goes to show you how big of a juggernaut the NFL is to have 13 different teams that will have a big enough viewing audience to have primetime slots. Your 49ers, of course, as always, are one. We also have Cincinnati, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Chargers, Chiefs, Cowboys, the Eagles, the Packers, the Patriots, the Rams. None of those are surprising to me. One that is surprising to me is the Steelers with 5 primetime games with no Ben Roethlisberger. Now, I know you've always bet on black and you've always been a big supporter of Mike Tomlin. How did they get 5 primetime games?
And another interesting fact that you probably don't know, all of their games are in the Eastern time zone this year.
Wow, Pittsburgh. Oh, they're gonna keep that streak intact. Oh, he's gonna have a winning record again. Shouts out to Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. But are they worthy of 5 primetime games, Sasha?
I don't think so. As like I said, as much as I support Tomlin and betting on black, and then you got Flores. That I don't know if that's what people want to see. What Flores is going to be down there doing with the defense. I don't know what the attraction is without a Big Ben. Or that is true. They have a very strong fan base, but is it warranting all those primetime slots, especially if they stink up the joint? But the NFL has that flex scheduling. Remember, we were joking about the Detroit Lions and how I said that we're not going to ever see Aiden Hutchinson again. I tweeted that the day he got drafted.
The day he got drafted, our Michigan beloved defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who went number 2 overall to Detroit, T. Sizzle hit me up. I can screenshot it and show it to you now. She said that's the last we'll ever see of him. And lo and behold, there's one team in the NFL this year that has 0 primetime games. What team is that, Tasha?
The Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions. So when we tell you that it's time to talk football with Tasha T. Sizzle, take off your headphones, scoot up, grab you a cup of May Janes, and get your listen on, because she knows what she's talking about. I was devastated for Mr. Hutchinson, but you were damn right. Like, how does Jacksonville get a primetime game?
But again, I think it's because now, again, with social media being what social media is, the league knows what they're doing.
Right.
They want to put Jacksonville on there. Hey, this is the post-Urban Liar era. We want to see what's gonna happen. We want to see if Sunshine is really, really. Yeah, they had that Turkey Day game, but I mean, hell, by that time.
Look, they're playing Buffalo, so that's when you help Mama cut up the onions and the bell peppers and help us set the table.
Right. And it's not a primetime game. That's the first game of the day that day. But I think it's the salaciousness of the NFL. They've been a little messy because they want to put Jacksonville on there to see what they're going to do. Like, they keep sending them to London. Why the hell y'all keep sending Jacksonville to London? They play
They are in London again
this year. But, so, I mean, it's good that they're sending Denver. But I think they're wanting the people to see how Jacksonville is going to do in that post-Urban Liar era. But I am kind of shocked that the Steelers have that many primetime games, given I love Tomlin. They barely made the 500 this year. His streak is intact. They barely made the 500. And now with the games, no one can go 500 again because they have an odd number of games.
Right.
That's kind of, it is kind of surprising to me, or unless they just want to know what the new quarterback or who's going to be the quarterback. And,
I was going to say, primetime night game, Mitchell Trubisky doesn't move my needle unless they're playing my team.
Not at all.
Right. That's shouts out to TJ Watt and that defense and all that good stuff. But that was a bit shocking to me. Now, equally shocking to me was the fact that the Tennessee Titans was not one of the 13 teams with 5 primetime games. I'm about to start going off, Tasha. I'm about to start going off. You lead the AFC with the best record. You got a 2,000-yard running back. You've been in the playoffs the last 4 years, and you don't have as many. The Pittsburgh has more intriguing storylines, Tasha. The quarterback issue, the is Derrick Henry going to come back to form? The Titans have everything you need to be a primetime team. They only got 4. But with that being the case, I want to do a little exercise with you, T. Sizzle. I got the Titans schedule right here, and I want you to give me a rapid fire reaction on if they win or lose, and we'll see what the number comes up to at the end of this little escapade. You ready, T Sizzle?
Escapade.
Hey, speaking of Pearl Con, we played that in the band, didn't we, Troy?
Yes.
All right. As we continue, okay. So the Titans open the season at home against the Giants. Is that a win or a loss, Tasha?
Oh, that's a win.
That's a win. All right, week 2, Monday Night Football at Buffalo.
That's a loss.
Damn. Okay.
You know that Bills Mafia does not play, and I actually, I root for Buffalo every year because I like what they're doing there. They're doing great things, and my friend Corey, his son, Mr. Marquell Lee, just signed with them, so I'm gonna go with Buffalo on that one. Sorry.
It could be Marquell Lee. It could be Lee Daniels. It could be Spike Lee. It could be Sarah Lee. They can't do nothing with Derrick Henry, but this is your predictions. All right, let's go. I'm a little sensitive about that's true too. We come back home in week 3 to take on the Raiders.
I'm gonna give that one to the Titans.
Oh, okay. Next week we go to the Colts.
I always root for the Colts to beat y'all. Colts.
Week after that, the Commanders in DC.
Oh, that's a win. At least it should be.
Then another return trip against the Colts.
Are they playing? Wait a minute. The first game, are they playing at home?
They're playing in Tennessee. The first game, and the second game is in Indianapolis.
Okay, so the second game, I'm definitely going to give that one to the Colts.
Okay, so you got the Colts sweeping the Titans this year?
Yes. I say that every year, and it never happens. So you need to be glad.
Now, I say they're going to make the Super Bowl every year, and it never happens either. Well, the Titans are exciting to watch. That's why are not exciting to watch. Oh, that little 3-letter word made all the difference in that post.
They're not other than King.
Take that back.
Other than the King, they don't have anything out there. And it's funny, Tiffany's son put a report. Oh my God, let me see if I can pull it up really fast, of how they were saying that your new wide receiver, the one I said showed up looking like an extra from Cameo, how he looked lackluster and out of shape.
He was out of shape. He had been smoking Black and Miles at the draft party, and that's all. He will be just fine. There's nothing to worry about. He will be just fine. Rookie Treylon Burks. Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, the next week after that, we have the Texans at Houston.
That should be a win.
Come on, they have no Deshaun Watson. Come on now. After that, Sunday Night Football at Arrowhead against the Chiefs.
That's a loss.
We return home the next week to face the Broncos and Russell Wilson.
That's a loss. Shouts out.
Then we go to Thursday Night Football primetime game to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
That's a loss.
Then we come home to take on Joe Burrow in a rematch of last year's divisional round playoff game.
That's a loss.
My goodness, Tasha T. Sizzle. Look, then we go to Philadelphia to take on A.J. Brown and the Eagles.
I don't know. That could be you can win that one.
Oh, wow. Okay. Home again to the Texans, and the Paul goes home for Christmas Bowl.
They always play the Texans tough at that. That's usually the last game of the season. That's why I'm kind of shocked. I'll give them that one.
They better. I'll be at that game 5 days later, and I'm glad you checked in right now, Shamika Nicole, who lives in Nashville but roots for the Cowboys. 5 days later, another primetime slot on Thursday Night Football on 12/29 against the Cowboys who come to town. Now, you hate both of these teams, Tasha. Who wins?
I'm going to say the Cowboys because I think by this time, as Facebook users said, Tannehill may be on the bench. You're going to have your rookie quarterback in who's going to give us a little razzle dazzle. Hey, I'm telling you now, the day he takes over, what you talking about, Willis takes over, I'm going to be champion for the Titans. And you know why. But,
I do know why.
But I'm still going to say Dallas.
That just wiped a smile right on off my face. All right, and then we close the season at Jacksonville.
Again, it's hard because we don't know.
Really, Tasha T. Sizzle, really? The Jacksonville Jaguars?
We don't know how Jacksonville's going to be. They got the good draft pick, even though I was surprised that Aiden Hutchinson didn't go first to Jacksonville.
Be glad. That place is a crock full of sand. That's what it looks like.
I mean, hey, he had a better chance of being seen there than being.
You think I want him running over Taylor Lewan? Old ass Michigan on Michigan crime? No, get him out the AFC South. That boy's coming.
I'm gonna actually say the Titans because maybe at this, I don't know, maybe they're gonna be fighting for pride. I don't know what they're gonna be fighting for at this time.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to really, really listen to what I'm about to say here. Last week or 2 weeks ago, when I just happened to be talking about the trade from AJ Brown on draft night, I asked Sasha T. Sizzle how many games will the Titans win. Michigan Mike as well. She said 7. I got 7 wins down here. So if she's nothing, she's consistent. Good job by you. Now, in the interest of fairness, because we all family here, I tried to trap her. I had that stuck in my mind. I said, when the schedule comes out, we're gonna put this to the test, and she passed with an A plus. Although that means we're not going to the playoffs. So damn you, T Sizzle. Yeah, right. It sounds like the Titans gonna be 8. Now she won't even give us that much love, but that's okay.
I mean, even with 8-9, they're not going anywhere. I mean,
okay, so tell me about what week what you talking about Willis be starting?
I can say they're going to keep trotting old Tannehill out there.
Their bye week is week 6, by the way, and you know the NFL loves to make changes around the bye week, so I just wanted to throw that in there. Their bye week is week 6.
I think they're still going to let Tannehill stay in because I mean I think his days are numbered there.
They better be.
I think they'll probably trot him in probably around now with the extra game. I'll say week 9 or 10.
Okay, so it'll be right in the middle of that gauntlet where you had loss with the Kansas City, the Green Bays, and all of that going on.
Which you can't fault Tannehill for that because those are just better teams.
Right, and speaking on that, you can't fault the Titans either because if you fall too far in the playoff contention, it's time to get the rookie out there.
Right, but that would be a good opportunity for them to say, "Hey, we're not doing this. Let's go ahead and get the rookie out there." And
right.
See you, Tannehill. We're gonna get him out. Yeah.
Even as a Titans fan who's sensitive as all get out, that actually makes sense because ultimately I want that window back open. And the quicker you can get Willis out there, the better. Let's get him on tape and get Tannehill the hell up out of there because his cap hit is not so bad next year. All right, Tasha. Now, let's move on to Big D, one of your rivals, the team that your team eliminated with your gold tooth-having, gremlin smoking, can't stand them. Can't stand the 49ers. We'll get to them in just a second. But the Cowboys, who, let's just put this out here for context. The NFC East has had a different divisional champion in each of the last 17 years. The Cowboys won last year. Let's put T-Sizzle to the test to see if they'll do it again this year and break that 17-year streak. Now, Dallas has it is by Pro Football Focus has the easiest schedule in the NFL, the easiest by last year's winning percentage for their opponents. So with that being in mind, let's see what you got. They're going to open the season at home against Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. Win or loss?
Did they ever sign Sue? Is Sue still out there?
Sue is still out there. Like he's going to make a difference.
I mean, I'm just saying, with the defense being intact, with him being familiar and everything. That's why I was asking that. That's going to be a tough one. As much as I do not, let me put this out here. I'm going to say this in the absence of our brother Michigan Mike.
Shouts out to Michigan Mike.
When I say that I hate Tom Brady, but I'm not going to take away from Tom Brady being Tom Brady. Now let's just be clear with that. It's hard to root against Tom Brady when it's the Cowboys.
You bleed red and gold, so it's going to be hard for you to put anybody's hate above the Cowboys, huh?
I mean, no, because I gave them credit when credit was due at the beginning of last season.
But you also said we was going to lose in the in the wild card round last year, and we did.
I'm just saying. I would. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on there. You notice I called them the Cowboys. I give them.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you because right now we ain't got no company. You can speak as free as you want. Now, Facebook user says the Cowboys will finish 3rd in the East behind the Eagles and the Commanders. When Mike comes back next week, we're going to get his thoughts on the Eagles. We'll run the gauntlet for his team to see where he if he puts his money where his mouth is.
I don't know about the Commanders though. That's.
Carson Wentz. I'm gonna use those 2 words. Carson Wentz. Now they will have their talented defensive end back from Ohio State.
Chase Young.
They'll have Young back, but I don't know about that. We shall see. So, are you saying that the Cowboys will win their season opener against Tampa Bay? It was a close game last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And then they get 6 days to relax, and then Mr. Joe Burrow comes to town for week 2.
I'm going for Cincinnati.
All right. And then at the New York Giants.
Oh, that's a win. That's a victory.
Then at the Commanders.
That's a victory.
Then at the Rams.
See, this is the I wrote you. I don't know about the Rams. I'm just they lost some things. So I don't know.
They did get an AJ Brown.
Oh, let me see. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on that one too.
Okay, all righty. And then they have a Sunday night game versus the Eagles.
The Eagles somehow always come in there and upset them. So I'm going to go with the Eagles on that one.
Oh, on Sunday night. And then they are home to the Lions.
Come on now.
You know the Lions are bad when they push Dallas to a 12 o'clock game. You know you bad if you can't play Dallas at least at 3 o'clock. Right. All right, the week after that, they host the Bears.
No, that's a victory.
Okay, and then at the Packers.
That's a loss.
Okay, and then at Minnesota.
Ooh. I'm only going to pick because Minnesota always has that one game where they pull it out when they don't need to pull it out, and I think that's going to be it. I'm going to go for the Vikings behind the taking it to the bank all-star Kirk Cousins.
Right, he is a take it to the bank all-star. All right, and then the Giants, home to the Giants again.
That's a victory.
Then home to the Colts.
That's a victory.
Okay. All right. And then the Texans.
That's a victory.
Rock them up. And then the Jaguars. Come on, Sizzle.
That's a victory.
All right. And then home to the Eagles.
Wait a minute. They played Philly at Philly the first time, right?
The first time when you have the Eagles winning.
Let me change that one to a victory and change the home Eagles to a loss.
So they split this year. Okay, gotcha. And then the Titans, you had the Cowboys winning that one, right?
Yeah.
And then home to at DC for the Commanders to close the season.
That's a victory. Now, I say all of this, giving Dallas all of these victories, and then what happens? The Cowboys always cowboy. That's
they do. Mike, where are you, bro? She has the Cowboys at 12-5. D-Town, stand up. Now, this is a trick. This is a trick, y'all. She's trying to bait us into believing because we have no reason to believe. Because
on paper, there is no reason why the Cowboys should not succeed. There's no reason. But like we said, as our good brother Mike says, Cowboys gonna cowboy. And I know it's gonna happen. Every year, I'm rooting for Clanker Clanger every year.
He's going to be the MVP this year. They may not win the Super Bowl. Wow, I choked up on that. They may not win the Super Bowl. Do I believe that then? Yeah, I do. Dak Prescott will be your 2022 league MVP. He's going to get it done without Amari Cooper and Nim. All right, that's cool. Now, speaking of our beloved brother Michigan Mike, last week he almost made you come through the screen and choke him when he said that Randy
all day long, just my foot up a dog's ass. That's my pleasure.
All day long. All right. He said, and I was shocked when he said this. He said that Randy Moss was a better receiver than one Jerry Rice. I need you to go. Yeah, let's receive that. Cowboys line is washed and their defense is overrated. Oh,
I mean, but Facebook user, that's the thing. I agree with everything you're saying. That's why
I do not. His name is Micah Parsons. He's the next Lawrence Taylor without the cocaine.
How do I log out of this show?
Without the blow.
How do I log?
Woo. Don't make your hair pop off. Okay. All right. Now back to Jerry Rice. Now, when y'all got into that battle, which was hilarious, by the way, if you didn't see that segment, make sure you go back and YouTube last week's episode. They got into it about this, which got me to thinking during the course of the week, well, damn, Tasha never really said who was the top 5, so we're going to unveil T-Sizzle's top 5 And we're going to start this week with her top 5 wide receivers of all time. The floor is yours.
Of course, the illustrious Jerry Lee Rice is number 1. And
wait a minute, say that a little louder for Michigan Mike, because I think he's at work right now.
Jerry Lee Rice. And this, of course, this is just my list. Some people are going to agree with this. And my list is basically based off of the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, when we were really into football.
Yeah. And they have the biggest body of work. This is
right. And when football could still be played, like when you can still clothesline a motherfucker. I mean,
no, you good. Let's roll.
Okay. Randy Moss. It came out. It just came out.
That rolled off your tongue. All right.
Randy Moss, because let's just face it.
So you have Randy Moss at number 2.
And it's
okay. Mike could be okay with that.
I mean, you cannot deny his rookie season.
No, because I saw what he did to my Cowboys in '97. The 3 touchdown performance on Thanksgiving that killed the whole dynasty.
And that's what I was getting ready to go. That's what I was going to say. As a rookie, remember a discarded rookie.
Yes.
He's supposed to go to Florida State, got into a little trouble, ended up in Marshall, took the cake. Okay. Then, of course, I got one of the triplets, Cocaine Irvin.
What? You got to be proactive, reactive, and detractive if you want to be a champion. Now pass me that 8 ball. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. We have an appearance from the Fuji himself.
Hey,
here we go again. Mike
we
in the house.
You.
We miss you, Mike. Where you at, player? He says, "Oh no, here we go again."
I mean, but you can't. This is what Mike, I'm going to say.
She said he was number 2. What's up with how about that?
But you cannot take away from Jerry Rice's work ethic. Remember, I told you, and when Mike was trying, Mike was jabbing me or whatever. He may actually believe Randy Moss is number 1. You can't take away from Jerry Rice's work ethic. Remember, I told you in that strike season, 12 games, I said he had 22 touchdowns, 21 was receiving, 1 was a rushing touchdown.
Come on with the stats, Sizzle. Come on.
Jerry Rice had 22 touchdowns, 1,038 yards.
Now, in Mike's defense, Randy Moss, when he was with New England, did break the all-time receiver record with like 25, didn't he?
But wait a minute. When I say separates Jerry Rice from all others, why? Because he was still running that damn hill and catching them bricks because his father was a brick mason.
Yes, literally.
Jerry Rice work ethic is what separates him. And then even at 39, because Mike was like, "Oh, well, he played with Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon had an MVP season." Jerry Rice was 39 years old that season as well.
The man was 137 years old when he ran the slant.
Precise route running. You're not going to and you think Jerry Rice, most of the time, he was being double teamed. But by the time he got the ball in his hands, you didn't see no double teams.
Whoa, wait a minute. Megatron is better than cocaine.
Wait a minute, Facebook.
Yeah, your list is starting to stir already, T.
Wait a minute. Again, my list. So, okay, let me get off of my illustrious Jerry Rice, and I'm going to get back to Michael Irvin.
Right, and then we'll chime in.
Michael Irvin, like I said, he wasn't afraid to go in the middle and take that hit. Because
if you numbed up from head to toe, you wouldn't be afraid either.
How do I log
out of this? Couldn't feel you punch him in the nose.
How do I log out of this? How do I log out of this show?
He's in love with the coco.
But that's and that's what I joked about last week. I was like, he was, maybe a little bit before the game. But Michael Irvin was not afraid for whatever reason to go through the middle.
Right, that's true. And that was even back in his Miami days when he was Coco Leaf.
But he also had the body. He was a little bit bigger, than, of course, Jerry Rice looked like he had shoestrings hanging out of that damn jersey.
Did you say shoestring braids?
See, you trying to come for him. You ain't slick. I caught that.
I'm just saying, if we're going to go by hang time, Randy Moss wins for hang time MVP.
Moss cornrows was thick, baby. They were thick. He had a
He had
lot.
that good hair. He had that Brazilian.
You know what?
Now, Mike says, I agree that Rice is one of the best in his position. However, he is not the GOAT of GOATs. And whenever we talked about who could be it in all of the sports teams, Sizzle never brought up Rice. He will wait.
Of course, because I don't think he was better or more influential than Muhammad Ali. I don't think he did possess a work ethic like a Michael Jordan, but I think athletes like Michael Jordan are top, and I'm going to throw this one out there, and this may ruffle some feathers. Pre-steroids, Barry Bonds.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how your head grow 3 hat sizes after 30, but that's true.
So I'm not going to say Jerry Rice is I was just saying that to pick with Mike, GOATs of GOATs. There are athletes who are better than Jerry Rice. Tom Brady not being one of them. You cannot keep.
But can we find one more accomplished though?
But yeah, he's more accomplished. He's not better. And people.
No, what I'm saying, but can we find a receiver more accomplished than Jerry Rice?
Oh no, there's not one. And again, you cannot.
I can't think of one.
You can't keep throwing rings out there because I'll keep bringing this poor guy up. So Brian Scalabrine is better than Charles Barkley.
You went Brian Scalabrine. Okay. You just got a black lip from Mike, by the way.
Look at all the people who have rings and look at the greats, the top 50, the top 75, the Hall of Famers who don't have rings.
Right. But when you talk about Jerry Rice, he has the rings, he has the yards, he has the records, he has the pedigree, he has the longevity. He kind of has it all.
Right. He has it all. So that's why I say he is, to me, the best football player ever. Like I said, I can't go back to these Jack Tatums and all these, because I didn't see those people.
Lambert and Jim Brown and all of them, right?
Yeah, Jim Brown, Jim Brown played 2.5 seasons, and he is
right.
He is always mentioned as one of the best.
He's the notorious big of football. They're 2 albums, and you one of the GOATs,
right? And Earl Campbell's and all of those type of people. You can't take away, but I didn't witness them. I only saw them in video. I didn't witness them play. So Jerry Rice is.
I know you see me on the video.
True.
I know you heard me on the radio.
True.
But you still don't pay me no attention. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was the jam. Speaking of Biggie. All right.
But, now you can't take away everything that Jerry. Like I said, I'm not going to ever take away anything that Tom Brady has done. I'm not going to. Like I said, I just hate Tom Brady. I just do.
Right.
I'm not going to ever say that he's not a great.
You got the people hanging in suspense right now, T. Sizzle.
Okay,
you got your 1, 2, and your 3.
This is where it gets dicey. And I have to actually write this down.
Come on with the written down.
Because Sterling Sharp career was ended too early.
As was Michael Irvin's, yeah.
He was the closest to Jerry Rice. That's why I hated Sterling Sharp so much, because he was so close to breaking Jerry Rice's records. Yeah. He was Jerry Rice's top competition.
He was, and because he could never beat Dallas, he didn't get the respect that he really deserved at that time. But he was putting up numbers that would have put him well ahead of these quote unquote Hall of Fame wide receivers before that neck injury.
Now that's it.
I love that pick. I love that pick.
4. But like I said, only reason why I'm not putting him at 4 is because the career was shortened. But the short time he had, like I said, I got a list here. Then we're going to enter one Mr. Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay. The forgotten man. All right. Okay.
Then I got, like I said, this is where it gets dicey. Marvin Harrison.
You mean blocker?
Clack. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hated Marvin Harrison, and you know why? Because,
I know.
He was a huge rival of my Tennessee Titans back in the day.
I even got Antonio Freeman. Do we remember Antonio Freeman?
You got a little thing for a little soft spot for Green Bay receivers, huh?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Now, I had Torrey Holt on there, but I scratched him off. Even though he was good, I just kind of took him off. He's just not there. He's not there yet. Right. My next one is Mr. Andre Johnson.
He was a problem for the Titans as well. You like anybody who tortured Tennessee during their low period? which he did, routinely tortured my Titans.
I'm just saying. Now I know this
Where's
is
Megatron?
that's my. He's on the. It's my last one. He's my last one because, like I said, those first three were easy. It's the last ones because you have so many that are kind of on that same level.
Right.
So I got Calvin Johnson. So out of those with the top, I'm going to put Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Michael Irvin, Sterling Sharp, and Calvin Johnson.
All right. I like that. I was going to say, can you have a top 5 without Mr. Johnson in there? The way that he just dominated with
on a subpar team, terrible quarterback, just awful organization in general. I see why he quit, and just like I see why Barry Sanders quit. You know.
Right. Excellent job by UT Sizzle. You got the people fired up with that list. So we're gonna have to definitely keep T Sizzle's top 5 in the rotation. All right, now we're gonna transition to. Wait a minute, Mike. Threw one more in there. Julio Jones in his prime.
Mike, I got. He's on the list too. Mike, I had.
He was Julio a bad boy
in his prime. Mike, I have him on the list. Like I said,
there's so many.
After the first 3. The last 2 slots are debatable because you have so much, like I said, Julio Jones in his prime. But
Atlanta,
again,
Julio Jones was a problem.
Right. But again, you saying in his prime, the wide receivers that I listed were still effective throughout their entire career. That's why I took Julio.
Was that
Where's the spoon?
All right. Okay.
That's
all right, cool. That was an excellent job by UT Sizzle with your top 5. We'll make sure we keep that in rotation. Now let's transition to a little NBA. We have on the horizon, about 24 hours away. We have 2 massive Game 7s, one in each conference. T Sizzle. We have the Boston Celtics hosting the Milwaukee Bucks, tied 3-3. Now the road team has won 4 of the 6 games. Can Giannis make that 5 of 7? Does he go into Boston and snatch one in the Garden in a Game 7 in the Garden? In the Garden.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Remember when we were picking this game and I had a hard time deciding because they are basically evenly matched.
You called that. You did.
And I said the only reason I was rooting for Boston because I didn't want them to give any reason for the brother to get hemmed up and get fired. Because, they will find something.
Mr. Udoka.
So, Giannis is I mean,
was that a sports gasm?
I can't. And you always say I say KD is the next king. I never said that. If you go back shows, I said Giannis is the king. Giannis is the new king.
Giannis got the crown right now.
And when you had James Harden out there hating on him, James, where your ring at? All you got is scoring titles again. So if somebody gonna say James Harden is better,
you a former scorer who can't score no more, Mr. Harden. And we'll wait for Mike to get back to really dig off in his ass. But James Harden, we saw what you tried to do. You ain't slick. You tried to sabotage the Sixers to get your coach in there.
Bing.
But you're doing it to another black coach, Harden. I don't respect that. You ran the one in Houston off to go get D'Antoni. Now you're trying to run this brother off to get D'Antoni. Ain't nobody coming to save you, Willis. This ain't
nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Right. Mr. Garrett ain't coming to let you stay with him, Otis.
You know what? He gonna drop your ass off in that bike shop.
Oh my God. Oh, as we continue moving on in a hurry. Now let's set the stage with this. Oh my God, you rattled me with that one. All right. Jason Tatum went head to head with KD and outdueled KD in the first round. He's going toe to toe with Giannis, dropped 46 in a must-win elimination game 2 days ago. Is Tatum the new? Where does he slot into this thing here? Is he on king tier level, or has he just hadn't done enough yet for you?
This is the thing with Tatum. Jason Tatum was in that game like this. Get moved. He was fighting everybody by himself. The rest of the team.
He was Jackie Chan in one of his movies, right?
Right. The rest of the team didn't show up.
Are you listening, Mr. Brown? Are you listening, Mr. Horford? Proceed.
Now, Al Horford want to get all in Giannis' face after Giannis yacked on him, and then he went back and yacked on Giannis. Okay,
That was a nice sequence, yeah.
But you cannot. That's what I say about these. I mean, we'll get into Luka next, but
yes, we definitely will get into that.
These, you cannot keep depending on one player to do everything. This goes back to Jordan. Everybody was like, well, Scottie Pippen this, and Jordan had this. Yes, Jordan didn't really win. Jordan's out there scoring, 63 against the Celtics. They lost.
Right. Got swept.
You need people around. That wasn't even a playoff game. That was just a regular season game if they still lost. You need somebody around you. You cannot keep that pace.
Right.
And even without Chris Middleton, that's what's hurting the Bucks.
This absence is huge.
He
was an all-star this year.
Yes, if they had Middleton out there playing, I don't even think that it would be at a game 7. But I think only reason why I'm going to lean with the Bucks in this one is because they've been there before. They're champions. I think that's how they're winning now, because they are champions, and champions know or should know how to win games.
The way they stole Game 5 in Boston, that was just a champion knowing how to do championship.
Right, that was that championship fortitude. That's what got them that victory. So we'll see. Because they
is Tatum better than Paul Pierce already?
You know what? I ain't never been big on Paul Pierce.
I just remember LeBron just running him out the league. That's all I remember.
So I'm not going to say he's necessarily a better Celtic. Well, that won't be determined until he wins, because
he does have a ring.
Because people hold those rings up. Oh, Tatum didn't win a ring. You're always going to have those people that say there's no ring. Pierce bought him a ring.
And if you that yellow, you got to win it all. Because that's going to always be a strike against you, bro. You can't be pancake batter mix yellow and not have no titles. That's not going to work. Look at all the other pancake batters. You better have a title.
Well, I'm going to root for him because he came up off that milk yacht. So I'm good with that.
As we move on in a hurry, Dallas in the second game on Sunday. Wow, we can't move this fast enough. We have Luka forcing a game 7 against CP3 and the Phoenix Suns. Say what, Tasha? Say what? Say it ain't so, Tasha?
No, I'm going to say it's so. Because remember, all of us on the show said that Phoenix was the least deserving number 1 seed.
But Dallas is digging in that ass. They flying it right now, right?
They in it like that. They got a funky finger production going on. They so far for that ass.
They got Phoenix on the ropes. I am sitting here in disbelief, and they don't just have them on the ropes. They putting hands on Phoenix.
Embarrassing Phoenix so bad.
They putting hands on Phoenix, and here's the part that I love the most. They trying to punk Luka, but Luka ain't got no punk in him. Have y'all not done y'all research? Luka Doncic was born on the north side of Chicago.
When Luka did that flex on him, and like Mike said, anybody the name who end in itch.
He did say that.
Mike Mike be coming through with some
quotes. Mike be coming through. Right.
Verified.
My boy is like John.
For that statement.
He said, I climb up the chimney. I want the smoke.
And that's the thing, like I was saying about Tatum. Luka is out here scoring. Now, what if Phoenix decides to play some defense and decides to start putting them hands on Luka?
But it looks like they trying. He's bullying people. You saw he's knocking Mikal Bridges over and running over CP3. Richard Jefferson in the other game, they said, get that baby out the street. When he was posting up CP3, get that baby out the street. He just barreled him over and scored.
When Luka hit that shot, and that man said,
hit him with the flex, hit him with the flex, hit him with the flex.
I said, come on through, Luke. Come on.
Right. Hold on. D checking in. Phoenix got Cliff Paul running point. Tasha, what happened to Chris Paul?
Bye, Damien. How long got this?
Look,
How do I
bye,
talk?
Damien. Bye, Damien. Like,
Bye, Damien. Since
what happened to Chris Paul? What happened to Chris Paul, Tasha T. Sizzle? The man has more turnovers than field goals in this series.
man,
How is that possible?
What's happening to Chris Paul is I'm not going to even say the age. I'm not going to say age. Chris Paul, and I did say Chris Paul was the best point guard out there playing.
He was at the time when you answered that question. He was putting up double doubles every night.
But I'm thinking now, I think what's happening in Phoenix, they're getting kind of that in their mind. We got this. This is easy. We're going to run through this. They're not playing their game. You know what?
You know what? They own Chris Paul, but Chris Paul deserves it because Chris Paul, your team won 60-something games this year. You got a Western Conference with no LeBron, no AD, no Kawhi. The Steph and Clay and them looking old. They would be gone if Memphis had John Morant. They would be gone right now.
Right. So, I mean, we all said it. You said it. Mike said it. Brandon said it. We did not think Phoenix was deserving of that number one seed. They just got it. I mean, their record, that's regular season. But regular season and playoffs are two totally different things. And
Memphis just found that out as the 2 seed. It's a totally different beast in the playoffs.
And the way I see it now, I'm not going to say Dallas as a whole. Luka wants this more. And I mean,
Luka wants CP3 to kiss the pinky ring. He wants Devin Booker to kiss the pinky ring. He wants him to kiss his Converse like show enough.
I picked Phoenix. I picked Phoenix to win the series simply.
I did too.
Simply because I know Luka. I just know Dallas doesn't have like a lot of defense. Luka really doesn't play defense, so I picked Phoenix. But I'm not going to be upset if Dallas wins. And it goes to show you, J Kidd probably know what he's doing.
J Kidd knows what he's doing. The adjustments he's made has been remarkable. The way that they was able to hide Luka on defense and still get out there and shut Chris Paul down. The defense that they're playing on Chris Paul, they were a great defense during the regular season. But what they're doing, all of the pressure is on Phoenix. But the home team has won every game in the series in blowout fashion. Does that repeat itself Sunday, in your opinion? You think the Phoenix gets it together?
I'm not going to say a blowout either way, but I think what Phoenix is going to do, Phoenix is going to come. They're going to try to play their heart out because at this point, this is Chris Paul's last hurrah. So
his last hurrah.
I just imagine a whole bunch of kicked him in the ding ding going on because that's the go-to move when he's
right. You crotch grabber. It's like Chris Paul. Look, Luka will not be punked. The whole thing comes to it, and one of the Facebook users said it earlier. If the others show up, the others haven't shown up on the road. The Richard Bullocks, the Spencer Dinwiddies, they have to show up on the road. The Maxi Cleavers, if they show up on the road, the longer that game goes and it's within striking distance, Luka gonna close that ass out.
Yeah.
Like Luka gonna get you. So if there was one player in the playoffs right now, I wouldn't want to play in a game 7 at home. That would be Luka or Giannis because they will come into your house and beat you.
Luka out there playing like all my life I had to fight.
He's skating with a stick. He's skating with a stick.
He got a stick with him.
Wait a minute. The mic says we have to remember Mavs have injuries. Boban. Mike, go help a customer.
Mike.
Boban.
Mike, you got your T-shirts is ready, Mike.
Mike, pick up on. They want a manager on line 1. Mike, no, not Boban. Boban got whooped by John Wick with a library book. No, not no damn Boban. We was riding with you up until then. Now we got to let you off at the curb, Mike. Not Boban. He ain't going to make no damn difference. He can't do nothing with DeAndre Ayton. Okay, right. So your prediction. Who gets out of the West in this one? So I'm with you. I think Giannis goes into Boston and gets it done. Does Luka go into Phoenix and get it done? That would be so intriguing if he did.
I would love to see it, but I'm going to roll with Phoenix on this. I would love to see Luka.
And if you're a Dallas Maverick, don't you step on that court without a cup on tomorrow.
Because, baby, it's coming.
And he kicked him in the ding-ding.
Shouts out to Eddie Murphy.
Shouts out to Eddie Murphy. Did you know that the Wayans brothers produced Raw?
Really?
It was Keenan Ivory Wayans executive produced that, and
I thought that was Delirious. That was on Raw.
that
Oh,
was
it was at the beginning
at
of
the
Raw.
beginning.
That's
That
right.
skit, yeah, at the skit, yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the return for the radio day people. It's time for the return of Shut the Hell Up.
For the radio.
Hey, well, we tell someone who's deserving in the world of sports to shut the hell up. I'm gonna start first, T Sizzle, and I need y'all to give me just a minute to unpack this because this has really irritated me over the last couple of weeks. But I have to wait until today to do it. And today I want to tell the national media, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Mike Greenbergs of the world. I want to tell all y'all to shut the hell up with this whole narrative that y'all been pushing for the last 10 days that the Memphis Grizzlies are better without Ja Morant. You know that kid is up this summer for a 5-year, $181 million extension, and you're trying to dig in that man's pockets by creating a national narrative that the Grizzlies are better without him. Now, did they go 21-6 without Ja this year? Yes, they did. Was that during a COVID regular season? Yes, it was. Some of the victories that they had during that time, did other people have teams out? Yes, they did. Was it in context? Yes, it was. Now, there is not out of the realm of possibility for a superstar player to be on a great team and that great team to go on and do great things without said superstar. Let's go back to 1994. Jordan had just come off of 3 consecutive titles and a gold medal with the Dream Team. He was the biggest superstar and athlete in the entire world. He walked away from the game of basketball. The Chicago Bulls the next year won 56 games and lost in a close game 7 to the Knicks, who eventually went on to go to the finals. Scottie Pippen was an MVP candidate that year. Were they better without Jordan? History shows no, they weren't, because they didn't win a title until Jordan came back. It's okay for this young kid to have a good team around him. Memphis has drafted well. That entire team is the second youngest team in the league. Quit digging in this man's money. And speaking of Morant, y'all gonna leave T. Morant alone.
That
Papa Morant, you're gonna leave T. Morant alone. Now he says, "Don't worry, Ja getting his money. He's box office. He is, but but the national media has had a problem with him being so brash, being so cocky, being hitting the gritty, sitting courtside with the ice on, being in rap videos with the baby, sitting courtside next to Yo Gotti and things of that nature. He's so new school that the old regime that is the national media, who's been entrenched for decades, they look at him as too brash, too cocky. They call T. Morant basically a hanger-on and trying to be a spotlight stealer. So bad, it was so bad that T. Morant had to open up, do an op-ed in the Memphis Commercial Appeal, defending his position as a father.
Right, and why should he? Because I didn't see that same criticism when you had one Mr. Archie Manning saying my son ain't playing here.
Archie Manning, one of the most meddlesome fathers in the history of sports, orchestrated a draft day heist to get his son out of San Diego and to the New York. Always got a comment or an opinion about something ain't nobody asked him about.
But the beloved Archie Manning.
Mm-hmm. But people love it. T. Morant, he's sitting on the sideline next to Usher. He got the Gucci frames on. He's holding his granddaughter, for goodness sakes. And it started to trigger me, Tasha. And I'm going to tell you why it started to trigger me. Because I saw this with King Richard, with Serena and Venus Williams, where the narrative wasn't that he took his 2 girls out of one of the most crime-infested, dangerous neighborhoods in the entire country to the heights of superstardom worldwide. Right. He doesn't get any credit for that. He gets credit for being angry, aloof, crazy, combative, when he's really just protecting his daughters. You look at Lonzo Ball, how the media vilified and crucified him, told him he was the worst father in the world, that he was going to mess up them boys' lives. He shouldn't have pulled LaMelo out of high school.
Now, I was one of those because he almost fell with LaMelo. He almost did.
Well, the thing is, where was when Big Baller Brand was under investigation and going down and things were looking kind of meek when the kid was over there stealing Gucci frames in China? They had Lonzo, LeVar Ball on every talk show.
Yes.
They had him on there to mock him, to talk about him, to denigrate him. But last I checked last night, I saw him on an AT&T commercial with his son LaMelo, who was Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
His son Lonzo has got a second contract in the NBA and is going to get a third when his knee gets healed.
Mm-hmm.
He did what he said he was going to do. He was such a hype man for his son Lonzo that he got him drafted ahead of Jason Tatum.
Yes.
That's an agent for you. He has stood back in the background and let his sons flourish in the NBA. They're in the All-Star game now. LaMelo was in the All-Star game. His sons are in the playoffs. He did a phenomenal job, but he's looked at as crazy. The same narrative as King Richard. Then we go to LeBron. Oh, why are you trying to make Bronny do this? Why are you trying to make Bronny do that? Why you being overly? Why you at the games? Like, who don't want their dad at the games? Mike will miss a show to be at his son's soccer game.
Even at his son instruments. You have to be there.
You have to be there.
And just like what you're saying, it's like when black fathers do that, it's looked down upon. But white fathers,
they have something to gain from it. Right. They're trying to get over it.
But what don't they have to gain from it? Yeah, of course you're going to gain something from it. But white parents have done this throughout time, but they don't get the same criticism as white fathers. And remember, I sent you this during the draft. I was so glad to see the presence of black fathers for the first, 13, 14 picks.
Right.
It was black fathers with the mothers at the son's sides. The first one, I think, was the young man from Georgia, but his mother was there with her other two boys. She was in school, was in the military or something like that, raised him by herself. But I love to see the presence of black fathers. Every black father that's there is not looking for some Gucci frames or a gold chain. Why can't we support our children and be as boisterous about it without getting the criticism?
And to drive that point home, let's go back and look at Ja Morant's ascent to superstardom. He was not the king, King James. He was not the chosen one in high school.
No.
He wasn't even a prospect.
It was the overweight kid down there in New Orleans.
Right. His father built him a basketball goal in the backyard, and dozens and dozens of kids would play in his backyard. He would grill for them. He would cook for them. He would mentor them. He wasn't looking to be their agent. He was doing that as a father. Me and my brother's father did the same thing for us.
Let's not forget, T. Morant actually played basketball.
Right.
He played overseas. The only reason he stopped, why? Because
he had job.
He had job. He sacrificed for a job.
My father, God bless him, he put a goal up in the backyard where me and Damien played. And Damien, if you're still on here, he's my witness. Kids from all over North Nashville would come and play in our backyard. And my parents were fine with it because my mom was always of the mindset is, if I can keep my eyes on you, then the police ain't got their eyes on you. Right. I know you're safe. You're in a controlled environment. They will bring snacks out there. You can come in, use the bathroom, get some water, get some Well, you was drinking out the hose in the 80s. But that's another story for another day. But I just think that's a great thing and a great look. And I'm going to stand up for T. Morant. T. Morant, don't you go into hiding. They put him into hiding in the second round. And that really irritated me because of some of the stuff that the media was saying. And it wasn't just the white media. I'm not even going to put that on the white media. It was Bart Scott, Mr. Can't Wait on Barton Hahn, the Stephen A. Smiths, those two, I almost called them something. Them two raccoons on Speak For Yourself. You know them two brothers. They was all on T. Morant. Drew Merriman checking in. Speaking of good fathers, free T. Free T.
Free my ninja T.
And the Michigan Mikes of the world, the Damian Coaches, the Drew Merrimans. I know some great fathers out there who ride for their kids, who sacrifice for their kids. Why can't you be proud of your kid? Why can't you showcase your kid? Your daughter, you promote her every single week. You don't ask for no dime for that. You just want your daughter to be successful because it's a team thing. So that's my rant. Shut the hell up. If you got beef with T. Morant, you got beef with the extra point. I said it.
It is true. You should not be criticizing a man who's supporting his child. Then the narrative would be, where's his father? Then that's going to be, if he wasn't there.
Which one do you want? because Mama Durant don't catch no smoke, and she's out there in army fatigues arguing with the referee about her son
Baby,
being
with
fouled.
with that hair laid, baby. With that hair
Mama Durant be right. Now Shamika checks in. Just because you ain't have a daddy don't mean that those that are there are paper.
There you
Correct.
go.
Was he had no assurances that his son would be eligible for a $181 million contract.
Coming out
Then
of
he didn't
Murray
have any.
State.
Right, coming out of, I was just about to say that, coming out of Murray State, a 0-star recruit.
From South Carolina.
Come on and raise up. Now, Damian Coulter, like the backyard court, we did everything but charge admission. Exactly. A T. Morant type of deal. Was my father and them looking to scout the next great person so he can groom him and be his sports agent? No. They were letting people go out there, and we was giving them that work out there in the backyard, though. We was giving them that work. Well, D was giving them that work.
You have to make decisions sometimes that you feel are better for your children. I can say this. My cousin was one of the biggest basketball prospects in Nashville back in the 80s. He played at Pearl High School, old Pearl High School, not Pearl Cone.
The Tigers.
The one person who had to step in and tell my aunt what would be better for my cousin was Coach Cornelius Ridley, which is the uncle of our friend Gloria Ridley from Pearl Cone.
Oh, yeah, shouts out North Nashville in the building.
And he had to tell my aunt, if you want, because Chuck's talent was too big for Nashville. He told my aunt, if you want him to go anywhere, get him out of Tennessee. So what did my aunt do? She moved back to Indianapolis. My cousin at that time was in what do you call the schools now where they send you to play basketball or whatever?
Like
when you
AAU?
No, not an AAU. One of those
kind of like IMG in Florida.
Yeah, like where Kevin Garnett and all of those type of players went to a school like that, which got him at that time when they were giving 4-year scholarships, a 4-year scholarship to play ball at Oklahoma.
Right, and
my mama wasn't being. My aunt wasn't being nosy. She was doing what was best for her. She moved back to Indiana, and then at some time she left him there by himself because sometimes as a parent you have to do what you think is best for your child. You have too many vultures, too many people that want to come in and grasp a hold. Like when the mama had to pull the white girl up off her son, the crazy when it ain't no longer in the league. But sometimes you have to.
He went to the Titans, by the way. Thank you for reminding me.
But he wanted to make rap videos and dance on top of cars and all
this. And be in high-speed chases and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, but sometimes as a parent, we may see it as being one of those helicopter parents, but you have to do what you think is best as a parent for your child.
And if you are a helicopter parent and you put in the sweat, the blood, the tears, to stay up at night, to nurture them, to be there on the sick days, to be there on the great days, to pick them up when they fall, why can't you enjoy the spoils of the riches? If your child comes next Juan Valdez and she decides to buy you a mansion, then who are we to judge you on that? When you
and then on top of that, it is Ja's money. T ain't got no money to be buying no Balenciaga sweatshirt. He got it from his son.
If I got it, D will never have a knockoff Gucci frame again.
Thank
Stephanie's red bottoms will not be spray painted. My mama will have real alligators on her shoe, live alligators on her feet. Like, that's how we gonna rock, because those are the ones that help get me to where I am. And how can anybody hate on that? So look, we can stay on that forever. So Tasha, who's your shut the hell up?
Okay, like I said, I kind of agree with everything that everybody was saying in the sports world this week until yesterday. I was watching Get Up. One Mr. Amari Stoudemire.
Oh, wow. He did do the rounds on ESPN the other day, yeah.
They asked him if he was James Harden, what would he do to make the situation better. This is before Stephen A came in with his conspiracy theories, along with what a few of us were thinking.
Right.
He says, "Well, if I'm James Harden, I'm gonna get in the gym. I'm gonna get my body back together. I'm gonna get mentally." First of all, Amari, shut up, because he ain't gonna do none of that.
He ain't did it in a decade.
Thank you. He is not going. That's why you have people like LeBron James who are still able to play so long. You have had people like Kobe Bryant who were, that Achilles kind of took him down, but even after that, you have people like Jerry Rice that could still play. I mean, he was trying to play at 41 out there in Denver, but that was neither here nor there. You have athletes who take care of their body. La cuerpa. That's what they take care of. James Harden don't want to do that anymore.
He's a point guard with a pot belly. When's the last time you seen that?
So Amar Stoudemire, shut the hell up, because you know good and damn well he ain't finna do none of that to be where what he wants to do is to get D'Antoni in there, who don't play no D, like they said. Who was that said take the D off?
Right, his name is Antoni. I believe that was Jalen Rose.
Yeah, it's Antoni. That's what because he wants somebody to get out there where he can just tell him just to throw it up. But they gave you the opportunity to throw it up, and you took 1-2 shots for the final.
How did you take less shots in your closeout game than Ben Simmons took in his closeout game a year ago?
That part. So, like I said, Amar Stoudemire, I like you, but man, shut the hell up, because he ain't going to do none of that you just said he needs to do.
Right, and Kenny said it right. He doesn't have the dedication like LeBron James to hit that gym. Like, that's a mindset.
You remember when LeBron changed his whole, eating habits for one point, and he got really, really skinny, but that was to cleanse his body, to add back, to make him, because you think if he would have kept going the way he was going, he would have been like fat ass down there in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was too much bulk, too much weight. And one person who I really want to take a look at James Harden, that's Luka. Luka, this offseason, you bring your ass back into camp in shape. Because you would be MVP this year if you just came in shape.
When Luka was flexing, I ain't see no muscle. I just saw this.
You saw a side boob. You was like, yeah, wasn't you? You was like, is this HBO After Dark?
He look a little thick. Look a little thick.
But, look, Luka, I'm a big Ja fan. But if you come in, and Ja, you too, get your ass in the gym and bulk up. You can't miss 30 games no more and be considered one of the best players in the league.
You can't.
You just can't do it. You're going to be Kyrie Irving. And that's who you're going to wind up being if you do that. So with that being said, Tasha T. Sizzle, wow, we've gone for a minute here. Who are you shouting out today?
Let me pull it up. I had a very, very long conversation with your sister this morning.
Miss Stephanie Denise?
Huh? Yes.
Stephanie Denise?
Stephanie, our namesake. I said, we're going to be Denise's today. I said, my name, Sasha's name, your name. She is speaking today at the Big Hats and Bow Tie Brunch. It's at 2:00 today. So I'm going to shout out your sister, and I'm going to try not to cry because she had me crying on the phone this morning.
Don't cry. Dry
your eyes. Here come your mother with those two little guys. Hey. The mean mother stepped and said to me, hi. Sally in the face and Dector in the eye.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Got sidetracked.
So, shouts out to Steph. Steph, like I told you, you got this.
You can do this, Steph. Steph strong.
Right. Stand in your truth, Steph. You know what to do. You've battled. You've won. And I know she don't mind me saying this. You finna get you some new titties. You getting ready to get them.
Nice.
She getting ready to start her. She's gonna have her reconstructive surgery starting on Tuesday. So shouts out to my little sister, Paul's real little sister, one Miss Stephanie Denise Coulter. And I'm going to show this shirt one more time. I know Tiffany watches it later on because she'll text me something about the show. Shout out to Tiffany. This is her shirt. Firebird's Hot Chicken will be coming back soon. So,
and Denise, since there's more people on than when we first started the show, if you could please drop your IG and your website again so the people that's on right now will be able to go and get that. They may not be able to scroll up and see that.
Whiskey-infused coffee is available. Whiskey-infused MayJanes.com coffee.
I want to echo my shout out to Stephanie Denise Coulter. You got this on. You got this on today, D? Do you? No, the question is, does she have draws on? That's what the people want to know. There we go. That's the website for May James Coffee. For those of you who are just checking in, make sure you buy for yourself, buy for a friend, and like and share when you see her online. Let the people who may not normally get a chance to be in her contact zone, let those people get a chance to see as well. You all know a coffee drinker. My shout out today goes to my cousin Sonia Woodard, who's enjoying her birthday today. Happy birthday to my cousin Sonia back in Nashville, Tennessee. Sonia. Hope you're having a great day. And Stephanie, we got this. I can't wait to see the videos and talk to you after your presentation to see how that went. Until then, T Sizzle, you kind of rocked the show. Good. It was great riding shotgun with you.
Shotgun.
Hey.
Shoot for it, run down.
And she did her own horns, y'all, in the background. So for T Sizzle, it's your boy PL Culture. We will see you all in 6 days and 23 hours. Peace.